Welcome everyone. Today I will take you on an exciting journey to explore the beautiful island nation of Comoros. In this presentation, we will discover its history, geography, culture, economy, and natural beauty. Comoros may be a small country, but it has a rich heritage, vibrant traditions, and breathtaking landscapes that make it truly special. Let's begin our journey and learn more about this fascinating nation together. Part 1. Geography and location of Comoros. Comoros is a small island nation located in the Indian Ocean between the eastern coast of Africa and the northern tip of Madagascar. It sits at the northern entrance of the Mozambique Channel, a major maritime route that connects the Indian Ocean to southern Africa. Comoros is made up of 4 main islands: Grande Comore, Ngazidia, Anjouan, Nzwani, Mohili, Mwali, Mayotte. However, Mayotte is politically different from the other 3 islands. While Comoros claims it as part of its territory, Mayotte chose to remain under French administration and is today an overseas department of France. This issue remains one of the country's long-standing political disputes. The total land area of Comoros is approximately 2,235 square kilometers, making it one of the smallest countries in Africa. Despite its small size, the country has a large exclusive economic zone due to its position in the ocean. Volcanic origins. Comoros is a volcanic archipelago. The islands were formed millions of years ago by underwater volcanic activity. The most famous natural feature is Mount Carthala, located on Grande Comore. Mount Carthala is one of the largest active volcanoes in the world. It rises about 2,361 meters above sea level and has erupted multiple times in modern history. Its fertile volcanic soil supports agriculture, but eruptions occasionally cause damage and displacement. The islands are mountainous, with steep slopes and limited flat land. This geography influences settlement patterns, agriculture, and infrastructure development. Waterwave climate and natural environment. Comoros has a tropical marine climate. There are 2 main seasons: a hot and rainy season from November to April, a cooler and drier season from May to October. The islands are vulnerable to cyclones, heavy rainfall, and soil erosion. Climate change increases the risks of rising sea levels and stronger storms. Comoros is rich in biodiversity, both on land and in the surrounding waters. Coral reefs, tropical forests, and marine life are important natural resources. However, deforestation and environmental degradation have become serious concerns. Globe showing Europe-Africa strategic location. Because of its position between East Africa and Madagascar, Comoros has historically been influenced by African, Arab, and Asian maritime trade routes. Its location made it an important stop for traders traveling across the Indian Ocean. Today, although small and economically challenged, Comoros remains strategically located along regional shipping routes. Comoros may be small in size, but its geography shaped its history, culture, and economic development. From active volcanoes to coral-fringed shores, the islands reflect both natural beauty and environmental vulnerability. Globe showing Europe-Africa Part 2, Early History and Settlement of Comoros. The history of Comoros begins not with large empires, but with migration and trade across the Indian Ocean. Unlike mainland African kingdoms, the islands were settled gradually by different groups over many centuries. Canoe first settlers. The earliest inhabitants of the Comoros are believed to have arrived around the 6th century. These settlers likely came from the East African coast, particularly Bantu-speaking communities from present-day Mozambique and Tanzania. They brought farming technique, fishing skills, iron tools, Bantu languages. Over time, Arab and Persian traders began visiting and settling on the islands. The Indian Ocean was already a busy trade network connecting East Africa, the Middle East, India, and Southeast Asia. These traders introduced Islam, new architectural styles, trade goods, elements of Arabic culture. The blending of African and Arab influences shaped the unique identity of Comorian society. Mosque rise of Islamic sultanates. By the 11th to 15th centuries, Islam had become the dominant religion on the islands. Small Islamic sultanates emerged on different islands, each ruled by local sultans. The islands were not united as one country. Instead, they were divided into several small kingdoms that often competed with each other. Arab influence was particularly strong in governance, education, and religion. Mosques were built and Islamic scholarship developed. Swahili culture from the East African coast also influenced language and traditions. Anchor Indian Ocean trade. Comoros became part of a wider Indian Ocean trading world. Merchants traded spices, ivory, slaves, coconut products, agricultural goods. Its location made it a stopping point for ships traveling between Africa and Asia. While the islands were never a major empire, they were connected to global commerce. Globe showing Europe-Africa, cultural blending. Over centuries, Comoros developed a mixed identity shaped by African roots, Arab influence, Persian elements, later European contact. The Comorian language, Shikamori, reflects this mixture. It is closely related to Swahili, but includes Arabic influences. This early blending of cultures laid the foundation for modern Comorian society. By the time European powers began expanding into the Indian Ocean, Comoros was already an Islamic, trade-oriented society with strong ties to East Africa and the Arab world. Globe showing Europe-Africa Part 3, Colonial Era, French rule in Comoros. The arrival of European powers in the Indian Ocean changed the course of history for Comoros. By the 19th century, France had begun expanding its influence in the region, especially after establishing control over nearby Madagascar. French expansion. In 1841, France took control of Mayotte after a local sultan ceded the island to the French. This marked the beginning of French involvement in the Comoros archipelago. Over the next several decades, France gradually extended its influence over the other islands. Grande Comore, Anjouan, Mohili. By 1912, the islands were officially declared a French colony and were administratively linked to Madagascar. Seedling plantation economy. Under French rule, the economy shifted toward plantation agriculture. The colonial administration focused on growing export crops such as vanilla, cloves, ylang-ylang, used in perfume production, coconut products. Large plantations were often owned by French settlers or foreign companies. Local farmers worked in agriculture, but wealth remained concentrated in colonial hands. Comoros eventually became one of the world's leading producers of ylang-ylang oil, a product still important to its economy today. Mosque society under colonial rule. Although France controlled the political system, Islamic traditions remained strong in daily life. Most of the population continued practicing Islam, and local customs were preserved. However, education and administrative power were limited. Only a small number of Comorians had access to higher education or government positions. Economic development was uneven, and infrastructure remained limited compared to other colonies. Ballot box with ballot movement toward independence. After World War II, anti-colonial movements began spreading across Africa. In 1946, Comoros became an overseas territory of France, which gave it limited political representation. By the 1960s and early 1970s, calls for independence grew stronger. Many Comorians wanted full sovereignty and control over their own government. In 1974, a referendum was held. 3 islands voted for independence, but Mayotte voted to remain under French control. This created a political dispute that continues today. Balance scale, end of colonial rule. On July 6, 1975, Comoros declared independence from France. However, France retained control of Mayotte, which later became a French overseas department. Independence marked a new beginning, but it also opened a period of political instability and uncertainty. Globe showing Europe-Africa Part 4. Independence and political instability Comoros. When Comoros declared independence on July 6, 1975, hopes were high for unity and development. However, the young nation soon entered one of the most politically unstable periods in African history. Comoros, a fragile beginning. Shortly after independence, the country experienced its first coup. The initial president was overthrown within weeks. This event marked the beginning of decades of political turbulence. Between 1975 and the early 2000s, Comoros experienced more than 20 coups or attempted coups. Some were led by local political rivals, while others involved foreign mercenaries. One of the most controversial figures during this period was Bob Denard, a French mercenary who played a role in multiple coups in Comoros. His involvement symbolized the vulnerability of the new state and the influence of external actors. Desert Island secession crises. Political instability was not limited to leadership changes. In the late 1990s, 2 islands, Anjouan and Mohili, attempted to secede from the Union. Leaders on these islands argued that the central government was ineffective and that resources were unfairly distributed. Anjouan even briefly declared independence and requested to return to French rule. This crisis threatened to break the country apart completely. Balance scale, a new political system. To prevent further division, a new constitution was adopted in 2001. The country was reorganized into the Union of the Comoros, giving greater autonomy to each island. One of the most unique features of this system was a rotating presidency. The presidency would rotate among the 3 main islands, Grande Comore, Anjouan, Mohili. This system was designed to reduce rivalry and ensure equal political representation. Continuing challenges. Although stability improved after the 2000s, political tensions did not disappear completely. Constitutional reforms in 2018 modified the rotating presidency system, leading to new debates about power concentration. Despite these challenges, Comoros has avoided large-scale civil war and has gradually strengthened its institutions compared to its early independence years. The period after independence was difficult and turbulent. However, it also shaped the country's modern political structure and its efforts to maintain unity among its islands. Globe showing Europe-Africa Part 5, Government and Political System of Comoros. The modern political structure of Comoros was shaped by its history of instability and island rivalries. To maintain unity among its 3 main islands, the country developed a unique federal-style system. Classical building structure of government. Comoros is officially known as the Union of the Comoros. It operates as a presidential republic. The president serves as both head of state and head of government. The political system includes an executive branch led by the president, a legislative branch, the Assembly of the Union, a judicial branch responsible for interpreting the Constitution. Each of the three main islands, Grande Comore, Anjouan, and Mohili, also has its own local government and president or governor, giving them a degree of autonomy. Counterclockwise arrows button, rotating presidency system. After the secession crisis in the late 1990s, a new constitution was adopted in 2001. It introduced a rotating presidency system. Under the system, the presidency rotated among the three islands every term. Only candidates from a designated island could run in that election cycle. This was meant to reduce competition and prevent domination by one island. The system helped stabilize the country for many years by balancing power. However, in 2018, constitutional reforms changed parts of this arrangement. The rotating system was modified, leading to debates about democratic checks and balances. Ballot box with ballot elections and political parties. Elections are held regularly, though they have sometimes been disputed. Political parties often revolve around personalities and regional alliances rather than strict ideological divisions. The political landscape is influenced by island identity, religious values, economic concerns, leadership figures. While democracy exists formally, political tensions and accusations of irregularities have occurred in some elections. Balance scale role of Islam in governance. Islam plays a central role in society. Comoros is one of the few African countries where Islam is the official state religion. Laws and social norms are influenced by Islamic principles. Although the country does not operate under strict religious law, religious leaders hold moral influence, and Islamic traditions shape national identity, shield stability, and ongoing challenges. Compared to its early independence years, Comoros is more stable today. However, challenges remain, including political centralization, limited economic resources, institutional development, balancing island autonomy with national unity. The government continues working to strengthen institutions and improve governance. The political system of Comoros reflects its complex history, a small island nation striving to maintain unity while respecting diversity among its islands. Globe showing Europe-Africa Part 6. Economy and key industries of Comoros. The economy of Comoros is small, vulnerable, and heavily dependent on a few key sectors. As one of the smallest economies in Africa, Comoros faces structural challenges such as limited natural resources, geographic isolation, and a narrow export base. Seedling agriculture, the backbone of the economy. Agriculture remains the most important sector, employing a large portion of the population. The volcanic soil and tropical climate support the cultivation of high-value crops, including vanilla, cloves, ylang-ylang, used in the global perfume industry, coconut products, bananas, and cassava. Comoros is one of the world's leading producers of ylang-ylang essential oil. This product is widely used in international perfume manufacturing. However, dependence on a few export crops makes the economy vulnerable to price fluctuations in global markets. Waterway fishing and marine resources. Surrounded by rich ocean waters, Comoros has significant fishing potential. Many coastal communities rely on small-scale fishing for food and income. However, the fishing industry remains underdeveloped due to limited infrastructure, technology, and investment. Expanding sustainable fisheries and marine management could provide economic growth in the future. Money with Wings remittances. One of the most important sources of income for Comoros is money sent home by citizens living abroad. Large Comorian communities reside in France and other countries. Remittances account for a significant portion of national income and help support families, education, and small businesses. While helpful, this also reflects limited domestic employment opportunities. Hotel tourism potential. Comoros has natural beauty, volcanic landscapes, and coral reefs. However, tourism remains underdeveloped compared to other Indian Ocean islands like Mauritius or Seychelles. Challenges include limited infrastructure, few international flight connections, political instability history, weak marketing. With investment and stability, tourism could become a stronger pillar of the economy. High voltage economic challenges. Comoros faces several structural economic issues. High unemployment, limited industrial development, dependence on imports, weak transportation networks, energy shortages. The country relies heavily on foreign aid and international partnerships for development funding. Globe showing Europe-Africa opportunities for growth. Future economic opportunities may include expanding the blue economy, improving agricultural value chains, developing ecotourism, strengthening regional trade. While the economy is fragile, Comoros has potential if it can improve governance, attract investment, and diversify beyond traditional crops. Globe showing Europe-Africa Part 7. Culture and Traditions of Comoros. The culture of Comoros is a beautiful mix of African, Arab, and French influences. Because of its location in the Indian Ocean, the country has long been a meeting point for traders and travelers. This history has shaped its traditions, language, religion, and daily life. Mosque religion and beliefs. Islam is the main religion in Comoros, and the majority of the population is Muslim. Religion plays an important role in everyday life, social values, and national identity. Mosques are central to communities, and Islamic holidays such as Eid are widely celebrated. Religious education is also an important part of the school system. Party popper traditional celebrations, the grand marriage. One of the most famous cultural traditions is the grand marriage ceremony. This is an elaborate wedding celebration that can last for several days. The ceremony includes traditional music and dancing, community feasts, colorful clothing, religious rituals. The grand marriage is not only about two people getting married. It is also a symbol of social status and community respect. Dress traditional clothing. Traditional clothing reflects the country's mixed heritage. Women often wear colorful dresses and headscarves, sometimes decorated with beautiful patterns. Men may wear long white robes for religious events. Clothing is especially elegant during weddings and festivals. Musical notes, music and dance. Music is an important part of Comorian culture. Traditional music combines African rhythms with Arab and Swahili influences. Drums, singing, and group dancing are common at celebrations. Songs often tell stories about history, love, or community life. Speaking head language and identity. The local language, Shikamori, Comorian, is widely spoken in daily life. French and Arabic are also important, especially in education and religion. This multilingual identity reflects the country's diverse cultural roots. House community and family life. Family and community are very important in Comorian society. Respect for elders, hospitality toward guests, and strong family ties are key cultural values. People often live in close-knit communities where traditions are passed from one generation to the next. Comoros may be small in size, but its cultural heritage is rich, vibrant, and deeply meaningful. Hibiscus. Globe Showing Europe, Africa, Part 8. Tourism and Natural Attractions of Comoros. Comoros is often called a hidden paradise in the Indian Ocean. Although tourism is still developing, the country offers breathtaking landscapes, peaceful beaches, and rich marine life. Unlike crowded tourist destinations, Comoros remains quiet, natural, and authentic. Volcano Mount Carthala, the living volcano. One of the most famous landmarks is Mount Carthala, located on the island of Grande Comore. It is one of the largest active volcanoes in the world. Adventurous visitors can hike to the summit and see the massive crater. The journey offers stunning views of forests, lava fields, and the surrounding ocean. Occasional eruptions remind everyone that nature is still powerful here. Desert Island, beautiful beaches. Comoros has many untouched beaches with white sand and clear turquoise water. Popular beach areas include Kamoni Beach, Itsandra Beach, Galawa Beach. These beaches are peaceful and not overcrowded, making them perfect for relaxation and swimming. Tropical fish, marine life, and diving. The waters around Comoros are rich in biodiversity. Coral reefs surround the islands, making it an excellent destination for snorkeling and scuba diving. Visitors can see colorful tropical fish, sea turtles, dolphins, coral gardens. The marine ecosystem is one of the country's greatest natural treasures. Turtle Mohili Marine Park. One of the most important conservation areas is Mohili Marine Park, located on the island of Mohili. This protected area helps preserve coral reefs and sea turtle nesting sites. It is a major ecotourism attraction and supports sustainable development. Classical building cultural attractions. Tourists can also explore traditional villages, historic mosques, and local markets. In the capital city, Moroni, visitors can see the Old Friday Mosque, traditional Swahili Arab architecture, a local spice markets. The blend of African, Arab, and French influence creates a unique cultural atmosphere. Construction challenges in tourism. Despite its beauty, tourism faces challenges such as limited hotels and infrastructure, few international flights, limited promotion worldwide. With better investment and stability, Comoros could become a strong ecotourism destination in the future. Globe Showing Europe, Africa, Part 9. Education and Healthcare in Comoros. Education and healthcare are two important sectors in the development of Comoros. While progress has been made, the country still faces several challenges in improving public services for its people. Book's education system. Education in Comoros is influenced by African, Arab, and French traditions. The system includes primary education, secondary education, higher education. Primary school is officially compulsory, but not all children complete their education due to financial difficulties and limited resources. The main institution of higher learning is the University of the Comoros, located in Moroni. It offers programs in law, economics, science, and Islamic studies. Many students also travel abroad, especially to France or other countries, for higher education opportunities. Open book language in education. French and Arabic are widely used in schools. French is commonly used for official education, while Arabic is important for religious studies. The local language, Comorian Shikamori, is spoken at home but is less commonly used in formal education. Hospital healthcare system. Healthcare services in Comoros are improving but remain limited, especially in rural areas. The country has public hospitals and small health centers across the islands. However, there are challenges such as shortage of medical professionals, limited medical equipment, lack of specialized treatment facilities, dependence on foreign medical assistance. Serious medical cases are sometimes referred to hospitals abroad, particularly in neighboring countries. Globe showing Europe-Africa public health efforts. The government works with international organizations to improve vaccination programs, maternal health care, and disease prevention. Access to clean water and sanitation is still an issue in some areas, affecting public health conditions. Chart increasing future improvements. To strengthen education and healthcare, Comoros needs more trained teachers and doctors, better infrastructure, increased funding, international partnerships. Although challenges remain, gradual improvements continue as the country focuses on human development. Globe showing Europe-Africa Part 10. Future outlook and conclusion of Comoros. As we come to the final part, let's look at the future of Comoros. This small island nation has faced political instability, economic challenges, and development difficulties. However, it also holds strong potential for growth and transformation. Seedling opportunities for the future. Comoros has several advantages that can support its future development. Strategic location in the Indian Ocean. Rich marine resources. Fertile volcanic soil. Young and growing population. Unique cultural heritage. If managed properly, these strengths can help improve economic stability and living standards. Waterwave blue economy and sustainability. Because Comoros is surrounded by ocean, the blue economy offers major opportunities. Sustainable fishing, marine conservation, and ecotourism can create jobs while protecting the environment. Expanding protected areas like Mohili Marine Park shows that the country understands the importance of environmental sustainability. Building construction, infrastructure, and investment. For long-term progress, Comoros needs improvements in transportation and ports, electricity supply, education and vocational training, healthcare services, digital connectivity. Foreign investment and stronger governance can play a key role in accelerating development. Handshake regional and international cooperation. Partnerships with African nations, the Arab world, and international organizations can provide financial support, technical assistance, and trade opportunities. As a member of regional and global institutions, Comoros continues working toward political stability and economic reform. Glowing Star final thoughts. Comoros may be small in size, but it is rich in culture, history, and natural beauty. From volcanic mountains to coral reefs, from spice farms to vibrant traditions, the country has a unique identity in Africa and the Indian Ocean region. With stability, smart policies, and sustainable development strategies, Comoros can build a brighter future for the next generation. As we come to the end of our journey through Comoros, we have learned about its unique culture, stunning, growing economy, and hopeful future. Even though it faces challenges, Comoros remains a country full of potential and pride. I hope you enjoyed learning about this amazing island nation. Thank you for listening, and next time we will bring another interesting country to explore together. As we come to the end of our journey through Comoros, we have learned about its unique culture, stunning, growing economy, and hopeful future. Even though it faces challenges, Comoros remains a country full of potential and pride. I hope you enjoyed learning about this amazing island nation. Thank you for listening, and next time we will bring another interesting country to explore together.